The Iran-Israel war didn't start on June 13, 2025. It began years ago in the shadows, with covert assassinations of Iranian scientists, with silent drones over Damascus, with cyber attacks, sabotage, and economic isolation. But on June 13th, the quiet war became loud. Explosions echoed across Iran. Missiles rained on cities like Esfahan, Shiraz, and Natanz, and Israel called it Operation Rising Lion. Officially, it was a preemptive strike. Unofficially, it was a declaration. Over 220 Iranians were killed in the first wave. Among them, nuclear technicians, air defense personnel, and civilians, including families sleeping in apartment blocks near strategic targets. State TV channels were knocked off air. Communications darkened. Hospitals struggled to operate without power. Iran had warned for years. We will respond when the line is crossed. Now, the line had been crossed. Within hours, Iran launched Operation True Promise 3. In sheer scale, it was unlike anything ever seen from the Islamic Republic. Over 350 ballistic missiles, more than 100 drones. Targets: Israeli air bases, missile silos, naval stations, and command centers. Tel Aviv, Haifa, Beersheba, all came under fire. Israel's Iron Dome and Arrow defense systems intercepted many, but not all. At least 2 missiles struck a military intelligence complex outside Tel Aviv. Several drones breached Israeli airspace, hitting a fuel depot and injuring civilians. At least 24 Israelis were killed. Hundreds more were injured. But in Iran, the cost was higher. By June 16th, casualty figures had passed 600. Entire neighborhoods in Shiraz and Kermanshah were flattened. Tehran saw mass blackouts. Over 300,000 people fled northern provinces, fearing another Israeli wave. Despite the devastation, something had changed. For the first time, Iran was not just reacting. It was taking control of the battlefield. Its missile technology, thought to be outdated, proved deadly accurate. Electronic warfare tactics jammed Israeli radars. Drone swarms overwhelmed automated defenses. And perhaps most critically, Iranian intelligence had detected and neutralized Mossad assets operating inside the country just hours before the initial Israeli strikes. This wasn't chaos, it was coordinated. Outside Iran, the world reacted fast. The United States deployed additional naval assets to the Mediterranean. President Trump called for containment, but made clear that Israel's right to defend itself would be supported. Meanwhile, European leaders urged restraint, with little effect. Russia condemned Israel's strikes. China issued a statement blaming the escalation on decades of provocation against Iran. Inside Iran, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei declared the war a test of national survival. He vowed, "We will endure and we will not kneel." From the southern Persian Gulf to the Lebanese mountains, Iran's allies began to move. Hezbollah has not yet opened a northern front, but they are on high alert. The Houthis in Yemen have already launched missile salvos toward Israeli positions in Eilat and the Red Sea. This war, now 1 week old, is not staying confined. Global oil prices have surged by over 10%. Shipping lanes in the Strait of Hormuz and Red Sea are under threat. Insurance premiums for cargo ships have tripled. Several European and Asian airlines have suspended all flights over the Middle East. Meanwhile, on social media and in global newsrooms, the battle for narrative is underway. Western headlines focus heavily on Israeli fears, damage, and security. But the voices of Iranian civilians, mothers in Esfahan, rescue workers in Shiraz, students hiding in basements in Tehran, are barely covered. In Iran, these voices are loud. They speak of dignity, of survival, of being tired. Not of war, but of being targeted without justice. And more importantly, they speak of unity. Despite years of sanctions, despite internal frustrations, Iran is standing together. Whether you support Iran's leadership or not, it's clear. This time, Iran won't back down. Military analysts now warn that if Hezbollah joins the conflict, or if Israel strikes deeper into Iranian territory, the war could spiral beyond anyone's control. Some fear a regional war. Others say it's already begun. But for now, the battle continues. Fires burn across Tehran and Tel Aviv. The skies of the Middle East remain crowded with drones and jets. And the people, the ones without uniforms or titles, pay the price. 1 week in, the Iran-Israel war is no longer just a crisis. It's a new chapter in Middle East history. And whether diplomacy or destruction writes the next line depends on what happens in the next few days. This is Shadows of Strategy. Subscribe for our next episode. Will the US join the war? Stay informed, stay sharp. And as always, we'll see you in the shadows.